Hey everyone, this is Coach Roger, your Live Younger, Longer health coach. And remember, when you hear, pay serious attention. And I really want you to pay serious attention to this thought. This is what I've learned as a health coach since 2014. I'm a lean certified health coach, lean standing for lifestyle, exercise, attitude, and nutrition. And what I learned was the fact that health span is much more important than lifespan. None of us know when the end is there, but why not be healthy as we can be and do everything we can be, living lean, to maximize our health span to the very end. We talked about resolutions in my last two videos and how resolutions don't work. And I also told you about a great program that JuicePlus came up with this month and a great promotion. We'll get into more of that in a little bit. But the program is called Reset 25. It's simple guidelines for a healthier you. And these guidelines are just some things to add to your daily life and some things to consider eliminating or reducing in your daily life. Last week, we talked about eliminating dairy and alcohol. I gave you several reasons why that is. And I know perfectly well, for myself, alcohol disrupts sleep as opposed to putting you to sleep. Yes, it seems like if you have a glass of wine or a couple drinks that you'll doze off, especially when you get to my age. But when you go to bed, bang, you're awake in an hour or so. You got to go to the bathroom or whatever. But then you toss and turn for a while. And I've learned over time that is so true. But today, I'm going to be sharing with you why to eliminate or reduce gluten, as well as processed food. And then I'm going to add one of the things that in the guidelines are you need to add more of, and that's exercise. Why it's so important to add exercise. Well, let's start with gluten. And gluten's got a lot of somewhat scientific information, and I can never quote that, so I'm going to read this. I really don't like reading things on these videos, but sometimes you have to do that. So why reduce or eliminate gluten? Gluten is a general name for the proteins found in wheat products such as wheat, berries, durum, emmer, semolina, spelt, rye, barley, and other grains. It gives these food their squishiness or elasticity. We all know why we love it. Think of your favorite slice of pizza, but why is it not good for some people? It can be hard to break down and to be used as a protein source by our bodies because it is tightly held together. Not only is it largely unusable, but when proteins don't get broken down properly, the immune system can see it as an invader and send signals for the body to attack it, creating inflammation. And inflammation is the key to disease and feeling bad. So that's one reason to reduce that. I've done this before where I've completely eliminated gluten for a month, and it does make a difference. And I'm not intolerant to it, but it just, your body gets a different feeling and your body's working better. So try that sometime. Try that in this Reset 25. The other thing is to say or reduce or say no. Really, the instructions or the guidelines as printed say no to processed food. Well, that's almost an impossibility in today's supermarket, considering almost 80% of the store is processed food. If you went around the outside, you got real food, but the middle of it is full of it, and that leads to the standard American diet, which is what's causing all the obesity, etc. So if it's the secret diet to staying slim, staying trim, is to eat real food, not too much, mostly plant-based. So why reduce or eliminate processed food? Well, there's additives. There's preservatives. Just think about this. This is kind of diametrically opposed. We eat a product that's got a preservative so it stays well on the shelf for a long time. So we eat it, and the food is trying to preserve itself, and we're trying to digest it. Need I say more? It's just common sense. I'll tell you that. It's just like eating grass-fed beef as opposed to the beef that's been fed on corn and feedlots and so forth. If you haven't tried that already, it is a difference. It really is a difference, and it's much more satiating. But processed food, in some of my talks that I give about living younger longer, I've got a container of Cool Whip, and I hold it up and I read the label on it. And when I get done, I tell the people, okay, with all those ingredients in there and the list of bad things, just eat the plastic container because it's probably more nutritious than the stuff. So again, if you want a topping for a dessert, just go get some Ready Whip. Read the label on that. It's food. It's food. It's in a can. It's processed, but there's very few ingredients. There's no ingredients that are really harmful to you. It just makes so much sense. So that's what we're gonna. That's my two things for today. And then the third one is exercise. And exercise is just so important. Just so important. You know, why exercise daily? My doctor asked me a few years back why I exercised. And I said, because it feels good. He says, so why do you do it? I said, because it feels good. He said, and the doctor said, he hammers it at people to exercise more, and they don't do anything. Well, you've got to get past that point. You need a little to get close to my friend, willpower, and do it. I remember when I first went to college, I'd watch the football team. I had to go in the summer. I watched the football team run 2 miles out in the country and back before breakfast. And I thought to myself, because I hated running a mile. I hated running a mile in high school. Oh, I did anything to get out of it. And these guys were getting up and running 2 miles. Well, eventually, I ended up in my 20s doing some things with the Air Force program on wellness. And I ran 2 miles a day before breakfast for years. And it feels so good. And I got past the point of it being painful, being a headache, and being a disruption. And that's what I told the doctor. So I knew what I felt like to get exercised. Then as a contractor and what have you, I got a lot of good exercise, but I had a bad diet with too many hamburgers and biscuits. So this is what exercise does for you on a daily basis. And I think you all know it. And I don't know why we all don't do more of it. It improves overall health. It boosts energy, reduces the risk of chronic diseases, strengthens muscles and bones, supports mental health by reducing stress and anxiety, and enhances sleep quality. Why so? What that is, why don't you do it? Cerebrally, we know that. But you've got to move, you've got to move to feel good. And you don't need bicycle pants. You don't need leggings. You don't need anything. You can do it in your Levi's at the gym. It's not quite as comfortable as sweatpants, but you can. I've done it with my street shoes and gone to the treadmill and lift some weights. I'm not coming out of there dripping wet like a real heavy workout, but movement is the key to it. So next week, we're going to go through the remaining guidelines, and that's eliminating artificial sweeteners and colors and refined sugar. And we're going to talk about the importance of sleep. See, these things are all real simple, just real simple. You know that. How much do you have to be told that too much sugar is bad for you? The last thing you want is to get type 2 diabetes. If you don't have, if you have diabetes and it's type 1 diabetes, I pray for you, because that's something that you couldn't avoid. But the majority of type 2 diabetes you can avoid with good lifestyle and dietary habits. If you like what I'm sharing with you, please subscribe. I'm also on Facebook at Ask Coach Roger and LinkedIn. But those are the two places. Like it, share it, and don't forget the promotion that JuicePlus has for you to do the Reset 25. It's only going to run until the 31st, where you sign up and take the trio. That's the fruits, veggies, and berry blend, and then they send you free the packets of complete shakes. And then they send you some Luminate too, which is energy drink, a healthy energy drink that they created to fight against Monster drinks and Red Bull and those things. So it's $129 value. This is unprecedented in the 16 years I've been associated with JuicePlus that anything like this has gone on. And that's one reason the Shred 10 sometimes was tough to get people to do, because you had to not just buy the capsules, you had to buy the shake mixes, because that's one of the things you want to add. You want to add a shake for 1 or 2 meals a day, and then eat a good meal at night, and then stop. Don't eat. Try to eat early. If you can eat before 6 o'clock, great. If you can't, which my family couldn't, make sure you get a minimum of 12 or 14 hours of sleep. If you can, 16, or not sleep, but fasting until you eat again. It makes one heck of a big difference. So I really want to thank you for watching. And this Reset 25 program with the promotion is coming to an end in January 31st. But I want to say, if you get it, hopefully you're paying attention to what I'm saying. If you get it, let me know you got it by liking my page. Go to AskCoachRoger.com, my website. Contact me, and we'll set up a time to start in February, which is Heart Health Month. You can get the product. You can get the product before the end of the month, and then we'll set a date in February to start the 25. Let's try going on February 3rd, and we'll do it for the 28 days of February. In closing, I just want to say, remember this quote by Hippocrates. This was back in 437 BC. And something, I don't know if that's the exact date, but the thing I had that showed it said 437 BC. That's a heck of a long time ago. So, as Hippocrates said, let medicine be thy food, and food be thy medicine. And if you're paying any attention at all, they are really studying the health effects of good nutrition. See you next week. God bless. And don't forget, you just have a few days left to take advantage of that awesome promotion by the JuicePlus Company for Reset 25. You'll be glad you did. Resolutions don't work, but Reset 25 does with my help. I will be your accountability partner, and we'll work through that 25 days together. So take care. God bless. See you next week. Bye.